There is a dangerous illusion many men fall into: the idea that complete honesty will make a woman love and respect them more. In reality, revealing too much is the fastest way to lose both her attraction and her admiration. Women are drawn not to men who bear every weakness, but to those who maintain a certain mystery. The less she knows, the more she wonders, and the more she is compelled to chase. True strength is not in exposing everything, but in knowing what must remain hidden. Here are 5 secrets that a wise man should never share with any woman if he wishes to keep his power, his dignity, and her lasting desire. Number 1. Your real income and financial details. Money is one of the most powerful forces in relationships. It shapes expectations, influences behavior, and silently defines who holds the frame of power. Many men believe that the more transparent they are about their finances, the more a woman will appreciate their honesty. They imagine that by showing their full income, their savings, or even their debts, they will create trust and closeness. But in reality, this openness can easily backfire. Revealing every detail about your finances often weakens your position, shifts control, and invites complications that are difficult to reverse. Why is this dangerous? Because money is not just numbers. It is status, security, and leverage. When you openly share your exact salary, she immediately starts measuring you against her unspoken standards. If you make more than she expected, she may unconsciously raise her demands and expectations of what you should provide. If you make less, she may quietly begin to doubt whether you are good enough in the long run. In both cases, the innocence of love is replaced by calculation. Even more dangerous is giving her full access to how much you own or save. The moment she knows the exact figure, the dynamic changes. A part of her mind will begin to assess how much she can influence or benefit from your financial choices. This doesn't necessarily mean she is manipulative. It is simply human nature. Money triggers instinctive behavior. And once she knows you have a certain amount, she may push you toward commitments you are not ready for, or judge you harshly if you refuse. Consider this: a man who reveals his entire bank account essentially gives away his negotiating power. Imagine telling her, "I have exactly this much in savings." From that moment, every decision, where you live, how you spend, what lifestyle you maintain, can be questioned. She no longer wonders, she calculates, and calculation erodes attraction. Mystery, on the other hand, keeps you in control. Does this mean you should lie? No. It means you should be selective. Share enough, but never everything. It is perfectly acceptable to say, "I'm doing well," or "I'm working on increasing my income." This communicates stability without exposing every detail. Remember, a woman does not need to know the numbers. She needs to feel the security. Another reason to protect financial details is future-proofing. Circumstances change, jobs end, businesses fail, investments collapse. If she knows exactly what you have, any change downward will immediately shake her confidence in you. But if she never knew the exact number, she can continue to see you as stable because you always projected confidence regardless of fluctuations. The most powerful men in history always maintained a level of financial secrecy. Not to deceive, but to protect control. When no one knows exactly how much you hold, you remain unpredictable. Unpredictability is power, and power sustains respect. In the end, a man should never fully reveal his income or financial details to a woman, not because he does not trust her, but because transparency in this area shifts the balance away from attraction and toward dependency, expectation, and control. Keep enough mystery, so that she sees you as secure, but not so much that she can measure your worth by numbers. A man's value is more than his paycheck, and it is his responsibility to ensure he is never reduced to just a number. Number 2, your sexual past and number of partners. Sex is one of the most sensitive and powerful topics in any relationship. Many men fall into the trap of believing that full disclosure about their past experiences will create honesty and intimacy with a woman. They think that if they openly tell her how many women they have slept with or confess every detail of their past affairs, she will see them as trustworthy. But the truth is, this openness almost always creates more problems than it solves. Revealing your sexual history is one of the fastest ways to invite unnecessary judgment, comparison, and even resentment into your relationship. Here's why. Women interpret sexual history differently than men do. When a man hears about a woman's past partners, he often feels jealousy or even disgust. When a woman hears about a man's past, her reaction is not always straightforward, but it almost always shifts the way she sees him. If you admit you have had very few partners, she may quietly doubt your experience, question your attractiveness, or feel less excited by you. If you admit you have had many partners, she may see you as reckless, untrustworthy, or as someone who cannot be loyal. Either way, you lose. Another problem with confessing your past is that it creates unnecessary comparisons. The moment you tell her about other women, she begins to imagine them. She wonders what they looked like, how they behaved, and, most dangerously, whether you enjoyed them more than you enjoy her. No matter how much she loves you, these thoughts will poison her emotions over time. What you think is honesty becomes fuel for insecurity, and insecurity is the silent killer of attraction. You must also consider this. Women are naturally competitive with each other, even when the competition is in the past. If she knows you were once with a woman she considers more beautiful, more successful, or more desirable, that knowledge can create deep resentment that will surface in subtle ways. She may never say it outright, but her behavior toward you can shift. Less warmth, less respect, more suspicion. All because you revealed something that should have remained in the dark. There is also the risk of her using your past against you. In moments of conflict, arguments, or jealousy, those details you once revealed in honesty can become weapons. A heated fight can quickly turn into her shouting, "You slept with all those women. Why should I trust you?" What you thought was harmless transparency becomes ammunition aimed directly at you. So what is the solution? Keep your sexual history vague and private. If she asks, you do not owe her numbers or names. You can always say something simple like, "I've had experiences, but the past is the past. What matters is what I'm building with you now." This approach communicates maturity while protecting your power. You are not lying. You are refusing to let the past sabotage the present. A man should never allow himself to be reduced to a statistic. Your value as a man is not measured by how many women you've been with, but by the man you are today. By keeping your sexual past private, you protect the mystery that fuels attraction, avoid the poison of comparison, and prevent unnecessary weapons from ever entering the relationship. In the end, silence is strength. A wise man understands that some truths do not need to be spoken. And when it comes to your sexual history, the less she knows, the more peace, respect, and desire will remain alive between you. Number 3, your long-term plans and ambitions. Every man dreams of something greater, building wealth, starting a business, achieving influence, or leaving a legacy. These ambitions are the fire that drives progress. Yet one of the most common mistakes men make is revealing every detail of these long-term plans to women. They imagine that by sharing their vision, they will inspire admiration, create intimacy, and prove themselves ambitious, but, in truth, exposing your deepest goals too early or too completely is one of the fastest ways to weaken your power, reduce your mystery, and risk your dreams being sabotaged. Here's the reality. Plans are fragile. They are like seeds. Once planted, they need to be protected from the cold winds of doubt and the careless feet of others. The moment you reveal them, you give another person the chance to influence them. A woman may not intentionally destroy your vision, but even subtle remarks like, "Are you sure that's realistic?" or "That sounds too risky," can plant doubt in your mind. And doubt is poison to ambition. What you thought was supportive honesty can quickly become discouragement that lingers for years. There is also the danger of losing the element of unpredictability. When you reveal all your long-term strategies, you become predictable. She knows where you're going, what steps you plan to take, and how you intend to get there. The mystery disappears. And once the mystery is gone, so is a great deal of the attraction. Women are fascinated by men whose futures seem larger than life, who hint at big things but never fully explain them. When you keep your vision partly hidden, you create curiosity, anticipation, and respect. Another problem with revealing ambitions is that they can be used against you. If a relationship becomes unstable, those dreams you once shared can turn into weapons. You always said you'd do this, but you never will. You talk big, but where are the results? Instead of admiration, your openness invites judgment. Worse, if your goals involve financial risk or long-time horizons, she may pressure you to abandon them for more immediate security. And if you comply, you lose not only your dream, but also her respect. It is also important to understand that women often value security more than grand visions. If you reveal that you plan to spend 5 years building a business before it pays off, she may worry more about stability than about your ultimate success. If you share that you want to pursue a path that demands sacrifice, she may feel less excited and more afraid. By showing your entire hand, you risk replacing her admiration with anxiety. So what should a wise man do? Keep his long-term plans guarded like treasure. Speak in hints, not in full blueprints. Instead of saying, "I want to build a company worth millions within 10 years, say, "I'm working on something important, and you'll see the results soon." This builds intrigue, while protecting your vision from unnecessary interference. Reveal progress, not strategies. Show outcomes, not every step of the path. History's greatest leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries rarely shared their full ambitions with anyone until they were already close to realization. They understood that power is not only in having a plan, it is in controlling the flow of information about that plan. A man who keeps part of his vision hidden commands more respect than one who explains everything and delivers nothing. In the end, your long-term ambitions should be your private fire. They are yours to nurture, protect, and pursue. Share the results when they manifest, but never reveal every detail before the time is right. A woman may stand beside you, but she should never be allowed to hold the blueprint to your destiny. Keep the mystery alive, protect your power, and let your achievements speak louder than your words. Number 4. The full truth about your feelings for her love is powerful, but it is also dangerous when expressed without restraint. Many men believe that the best way to win a woman's heart is to pour out every emotion, confess every ounce of love, and make her feel she is their entire world. Movies, songs, and culture encourage this idea that vulnerability equals romance, that absolute devotion will keep her by your side forever. But in reality, revealing the full depth of your emotions often has the opposite effect. When a woman knows exactly how much power she has over you, her respect and attraction can quietly fade. Here is why. Desire thrives on uncertainty. A woman is drawn to a man when she feels she must earn his affection, when she cannot fully measure how much of his heart she possesses. The moment you confess every detail of your feelings, how much you think about her, how much you need her, how lost you would be without her, you remove all the mystery. She no longer wonders. She no longer chases, because she already knows she has you completely. And what is fully possessed is often less valued. Another danger of revealing your complete emotions is dependency. If she senses that your happiness depends entirely on her, she will feel the weight of that pressure. Instead of feeling desired, she feels burdened. Instead of admiration, she feels responsibility. This is not the soil where attraction grows. It is the soil where resentment takes root. Women want to be loved, yes, but they do not want to become the center of your entire existence. There is also the issue of power. Relationships always have a subtle balance of influence. When you make endless confessions of love, you tip that balance against yourself. She knows she can withdraw affection, test your loyalty, or even neglect you, and you will still remain. Why? Because you have already told her she owns your heart completely. In such a dynamic, attraction weakens and respect slowly erodes. Does this mean you should be cold and distant? Not at all. The key is measured expression. A man should show affection, but in controlled doses. Tell her you appreciate her presence, but do not declare that you cannot live without her. Show her that you enjoy being with her, but never suggest that she is the single source of your happiness. Love her, but love yourself and your mission even more. When she sees that she is important, but not your entire universe, she will value you more deeply. The most magnetic men are those who remain slightly elusive in their emotions. They give affection, but not total surrender. They express love, but never lose their self-control. They create a sense of wonder. Does he love me as much as I think? How deep do his feelings really go? That curiosity keeps her invested, keeps her chasing, and keeps the fire alive. In the end, the secret is simple. Never reveal the full truth of your feelings for a woman. Hold something back, not out of deceit, but out of wisdom. Mystery sustains attraction, self-control sustains respect, and restraint sustains desire. A woman does not want to know she has 100% of your heart. She wants to feel that she must continue earning more of it. That is the paradox of love. By not giving everything, you actually keep her wanting more. Number 5. Your deepest insecurities and fears. A man's inner world is full of doubts, weaknesses, and private battles. Every man has them. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, financial anxiety, self-doubt about appearance or status, even painful memories of being humiliated. Sharing these struggles openly with a woman may feel like honesty or even intimacy, but in reality, it is one of the fastest ways to lose her respect. Why? Because despite what society preaches, attraction is not built on pity. Attraction is built on strength. When a woman sees a man, she instinctively looks for stability. She wants to sense that he is capable of protecting himself and, by extension, capable of protecting her. The moment you pour out all your vulnerabilities, she subconsciously begins to doubt your ability to stand firm when life gets hard. She may comfort you at first. She may even say, "It's okay. I'm here for you." But deep inside, the image of you as a strong, reliable figure begins to crack. And once that image breaks, it is very difficult to restore. It is not that you must become a cold, heartless stone. No man is without fear. The real wisdom lies in how much you reveal and to whom. A man should deal with his deepest insecurities either alone, through self-mastery, or with trusted male friends who understand the burden. But to place that emotional weight entirely on a woman is to demand something she is not wired to handle. Women crave emotional strength in men, not emotional collapse. Another danger of revealing insecurities is that it changes the power balance in subtle ways. If you confess that you fear losing her, for example, she immediately knows she has leverage. If you admit that you feel inferior to other men, she will start to compare you more. If you reveal that you fear loneliness, she may feel less desire to chase you because she already knows you will cling to her no matter what. What you think is vulnerability often becomes weakness in her eyes, and weakness is the enemy of desire. This does not mean you should act like an invincible robot. Women admire men who face challenges, but they admire them precisely because they see resilience, not despair. If you must share victories over struggles, not the darkest fears still consuming you. Tell her about the mountains you've climbed, not the ones that are crushing you. She will admire your courage far more when she sees scars from battles you have won than tears from battles you cannot fight. Remember this: mystery is magnetic. The less she knows about your private fears, the more she senses that there is depth to you, and depth is attractive. A man who holds back, who carries his insecurities with silent strength, becomes a puzzle she longs to solve. She doesn't lose respect. She grows more curious, more invested, more captivated. In the end, the secret is simple. A man must never fully expose his insecurities and fears to a woman, not because they don't exist, but because revealing them destroys the very image of strength and leadership that keeps her desire alive. True masculinity is not about having no fear. It is about knowing which fears to keep locked away. In the end, the measure of a man is not in how much he reveals, but in how much he protects. Mystery is not deception. It is discipline. The ability to hold back, to keep certain truths for yourself, is what separates the strong from the weak. Women may be drawn to honesty, but they are captivated by strength, restraint, and self-mastery. A man who understands this never becomes desperate for validation, because he knows his silence is as powerful as his words. If this message has challenged the way you think about power and relationships, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree? Or do you believe total openness is the right path? Share your perspective in the comments. I read everyone. And if you found value here, don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel. Together we can build a community of men who understand their worth, protect their power, and never give it away cheaply.